What's going on, all you fantastic people? I'm Matt.
And I'm Vanessa.
And welcome to 2019.
Happy New Year.
Where we're going to be kicking off the new year by looking at 2018 and counting down our top 10 most disappointing films of the year. And before we get into it, I always like to explain the reason why we call it most disappointing is because this is not a job for us. We don't do this for a living. We just love going to the movies, and our channel is, it's a hobby. It's something that we like to do. And so there are a lot of films that we look at and are like, that looks terrible. Let's not go see that.
Pretty much.
So there are some films that we skipped on purpose because they just looked bad. And so, yeah, these are the ones that we thought might be good or thought were going to be good and turned out to not be so good. But before we get to the top 10 list, I do also want to explain. My list focuses on wide release films. I know there were quite a few films that were not wide release, that were maybe like smaller budget films that I saw that were pretty terrible. Those are not going to be on my list. I'm focusing on wide releases. So films like Terminal, Immortal Wars, or even Keanu Reeves' Siberia, that's not going to be on my list. The Fifth Passenger. And then I do actually have two honorable mentions, those being The Hurricane Heist and Mortal Engines. Those were rather disappointing. The Hurricane Heist, I just did not want to put on my list because the name kind of speaks for itself, and yeah, I kind of had a feeling that was going to be bad. I watched it anyways, which is kind of contradictory to what I just said, but whatever. Whatever. It was pretty bad. Without further ado, our top 10, and I'm going to let you kick it off. And as usual, I have not seen her list. She has not seen my list, so this is going to be kind of a surprise for both of us as well. So what is your number 10?
Well, I'm going to first kind of describe my listing here. I decided to go by grade to the worst grade. I could have done it based on my personal opinion, which one disappointed me the most. But, you know, some of these movies I haven't seen in a few months, and so those feelings are kind of gone. So I did it based on grade. Okay, so my number 10 is Solo, a Star Wars film. Star Wars story. Oh my gosh. See,
even though we haven't seen each other's lists, this is kind of funny because my number 10 is also Solo, a Star Wars story, so we can talk about this one together. So please. We're also not going to spend too much time talking about each one. If you want to see our more in-depth review, all of these films are available on our channel. So we're just going to kind of do like a brief overview of why it made our list.
So this one, for me, it wasn't a bad film. As a matter of fact,
No.
I gave it B's. It's not like it's a D or an F.
No.
It's just, it wasn't what we were expecting from an out of the
Star Wars universe.
Out of the Star Wars universe. You know,
Yeah.
we had Rogue One, which was fantastic. And
Yeah.
so we kind of had this feeling that it was going to be like that. And it just wasn't.
Yes. The reason why it's my number 10 is because this, to me, was a mediocre Star Wars film. There was nothing really about it that just, really held me in suspense or grabbed my attention. I know some people who do like this film, but I dare any one of you out there to pick a moment in the film that really wowed you. There was not a moment like that for me. To me, this movie was more just, it was fine with being okay.
Yeah.
And I can't live with that, especially it being a Star Wars film, although I will not get started on Last Jedi. This, to me, is better than that. But it still was just, it's an okay film, and I don't know, I don't like that.
No.
What's your number 9?
My number 9 is Venom.
Ooh, okay.
So Venom makes my number 9 because I didn't know really what to expect, and so I was kind of hoping to be pleasantly surprised, and instead I was left kind of shaking my head and a little bit disappointing. It wasn't that it wasn't entertaining, it just fell short for me.
And that does make sense. Venom almost made my list just because it did leave me wanting more. It did not, however, make my list. My number 9 is Woman Walks Ahead.
Okay.
Which I know, damn, here I am being contradictory again. I know I said that I was focusing on wide release films. I really don't know how widespread this movie was. I don't know how far it reached out there into the cinematic world. But we watched it, and I love the cast. It is an incredible true story, but this movie was kind of all over the place, and it didn't know what it wanted to be. It kind of sort of ended up being a pseudo Hallmark film.
Yeah. Yeah.
And to me, it's just this movie did not. It wasn't fair to the cast or the story behind it. The movie does not live up to what it should have been, and so it's my number 9.
Okay. My number 8 is Red Sparrow.
My number 8 is Red Sparrow. Great minds think alike.
On this one, 10 and 8. This was a long time ago. We're talking the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
This was not what we were expecting. I like how I just chimed in there. I don't know. I thought we were expecting maybe a little bit more action.
Kind of.
And just.
I don't know. This movie was really a mixed bag. I love the spy aspect of the film, and of course, I really like Jennifer Lawrence. I thought she did a fantastic job. But when you remove the spy aspect and all the twists and turns and the betrayals and backstabbings, you're left with smut.
Yeah.
And that was the side of the film that I really didn't like. For whatever reason or another, I know in our review we mentioned that we're not really prudish, but this movie just the whole horror school, as she calls it in the film aspect, it just did not sit well with me. I don't think it even needed to be in the film.
It didn't.
And so, yeah, kind of disappointing.
Yeah. All right. My number 7 is Mile 22.
My number 7 is Mile 22. Wow, this is going to be a really quick video.
Cheating. Okay, so this one, I had expectations because I was really looking forward to the person's name. I can't remember right now.
Iko Uwais?
Yes, Iko Uwais, because he's awesome. And so I was expecting great choreography, great action.
Yes.
And we got some good action.
Yeah.
We got some good choreography. In my opinion, I feel like we didn't get enough. Or good enough story to back any of the action.
The story was lacking. I was really also like you. I was interested in seeing Marky Mark with Iko Uwais, and this film was directed by Peter Berg. But for some reason, my biggest issue is, besides the story, Peter Berg all of a sudden went to the shaky cam school of editing and directing. You have one of the best martial artists on the planet, and for the most part, you can't see the action. The action is just all over the place, and that was so disappointing in the film. And yeah, I just, once again, should have been a much better film. I expect more out of Peter Berg and his team.
When you have such good choreography, when you have a choreographer, which Iko Uwais does his own choreography, you want to see everything, and you can't because you're too close.
No.
Okay, so my number 6 is Woman Walks Ahead. We talked about this a little bit. I love Jessica Chastain.
Oh, yeah.
She is fantastic.
And Sam Rockwell.
Sam Rockwell. This movie just had no oomph. No, let's go. Like, no excitement pretty much to it, and it should have. I wanted to be crying. I wanted to be excited. I wanted to get angry, and I felt nothing pretty much throughout the entire movie. And it's sad because she's like she's my girl. This is Jessica Chastain we're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. My number 6 is Pacific Rim Uprising. And basically, no Guillermo del Toro, I can say his name, and a lot of half-cocked ideas. This movie just didn't really bring anything. It pales in comparison to the original. I don't really know a lot of people who expected this movie to actually be good, and it wasn't. And it just, I don't know. There was a lot of action, but no substance, and really actually no style, at least not in comparison, once again, to the first one. And then Charlie Day's character? No. Yeah. That's why it's my number 6.
Okay. My number 5 is the Cloverfield Paradox. Oof. This one makes number 5 mainly because I didn't have expectations for this. However, I mean, I do like Cloverfield, and I do like 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Yeah.
But this one I still was like the 3rd, I don't know. So it just kind of throws in there, and the fact that I still felt unfulfilled on a movie I didn't really have expectations for. Yeah. That's why it makes my list.
Well, my number 5 is The Meg, and I had some expectations. I will admit, though, I had a feeling this was going to be a dumb popcorn film, and it was, but it could have been so much more. I love the book. I actually love the series. And this is a film that has been languishing in production hell for over a decade. And I feel like it could have been so much more if they had just taken it in a completely different direction. I know that the director, after the fact, came out and said, oh, he was gunning for an R-rated, like more horror type film. Studio shut him down, and what we got was pretty lame.
Pretty lame.
Jason Statham versus a giant shark. I know it sounds corny.
It does.
And it was really, really corny. I don't know. It just wasn't what I wanted.
From a fan of the book.
Yeah, so that might not be fair, but it wasn't what I wanted.
It's also what I want. Okay. My number 4 is Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. Yeah. Again, this is a movie I don't even think we were expecting to watch after the first one, because we weren't very big fans of the first one, Jurassic.
No, we weren't.
So, but we went and watched it. We figured maybe we'll be entertained. Oh my gosh, this movie takes a turn. I don't even know what to. It's just you have two different movies slammed together.
Yeah.
Pretty much. I don't understand.
The action gung ho movie turns into a horror haunted house kind of movie with dinosaurs.
With dinosaurs.
Okay.
That was enough said. What's your number 4?
My number 4 is actually our latest review, which is Mary, Queen of Scots. This is the most infuriating film of the year, in my opinion. I expected and wanted great things, and I got nothing. I got I don't know.
Can't even speak. That's how upsetting it is.
It's just a half-baked movie. It turns into a overly dumb PC piece of trash, in my opinion. I'm sorry. I know that's harsh, but I really honestly thought that this was I thought it was going to be an Oscar-quality film, and it is nothing close to that. So it's my number 4.
All right. My number 3 is The Meg, which we just talked about.
Yeah.
So we don't really need to get into it too much, but I mean, I wanted to say the visuals were pretty good, but some of the visuals weren't all that good.
No, which is something else we could have talked about.
Yeah. I mean, it's 2000, well, it was 2018 when this movie came out. You can make a better giant shark, right?
You would think.
Come on.
You would think.
Come on, you can make dinosaurs look pretty awesome in Jurassic World.
Ugh.
Why can't you make
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And speaking of Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, that is my number 3, and all I really have to say is just enough already.
Enough.
Please just stop. I think it's actually the dumbest film of the year. I really do. I'm sorry. And I know some of you out there who are watching this are probably like, look, dude, it's a movie about dinosaurs. I get that, and I love movies about dinosaurs. But this one really, there are so many holes, so many things to say about it, so many contrived plot points and things that just go awry in this film, and the ending is atrocious. Yeah, we don't need to talk about that again.
No.
I don't know. They just didn't use their brain on this one, and once again, I know it is a dinosaur movie, but they just need to stop.
Yeah.
They really do. Stop. What's your number 2?
The Predator.
Phew, yes.
Yes. The Predator makes number 2 for me. This movie makes number 2 for me because I can honestly say I can't remember a lot of this movie.
Wow.
It's incredibly forgetful. I remember watching the movie. I remember being disappointed about the movie. I remember bits and pieces of this movie. Maybe involving a van. I don't know. Just saying. I don't know.
There's a
van, right? So,
we can stop right there.
I don't know.
That's good enough for me.
Okay, what's your number 2?
I'm done. I'm leaving. No, my number 2 is the Cloverfield Paradox.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. To me, this is the perfect example of bait and switch.
Oh.
A lot of you may not know this, but towards the beginning of last year, towards the beginning of 2018, actually no, I'm sorry, even further in the past than that, there was a film called The God Particle. This is that movie. It started off as something completely different. Then all of a sudden they changed their mind and they gave us the Cloverfield Paradox. And if you remember, during last year's Super Bowl, we got that really obscure TV spot for it, and everybody was like, whoa, everybody got excited, everybody was buzzed. And then the movie came out on Netflix. And it's garbage. It's garbage. It makes no sense. Most of the film is disjointed and all over the place. And the biggest thing is it treats its audience like they're idiots, and it's just a waste of time. So it has no business standing up in comparison to the other 2 films. So that's my number 2. What is your number 1?
My number 1
is it Mary Queen of Scots?
Mary Queen of Scots.
I knew it.
This movie, after watching the previews multiple times and getting super excited for what I thought was going to be a fantastic duo. Come on. You've got my favorite, Saoirse Ronan, and you've got Margot Robbie, whatever. It's either way, either or.
She's not here.
She's not here. Sorry. And then you give me nothing to really. I mean, I want to even say that this could be like a documentary that you put on the History Channel, but it's like you pointed out.
Historically inaccurate.
It's historically inaccurate, and it's too PC for history. Come on, the History Channel is going to be too blunt.
We could put that on a shirt.
too PC for history.
I like it.
No. So bad. And the worst part about it is I wanted to like it so bad that after we left, I was literally trying to convince myself that it was good.
It's true.
I really was.
It's true.
I mean, the costumes are fantastic, right? That's good enough. The costumes, the set piece. All right, what's your number?
Anyways, my number one is The Predator. This was a film that I was really looking forward to. I know when we did our most anticipated films of 2018, when we did that video, this was high on my list. And Shane Black, I don't know what you're doing, man. He took what was supposed to be the true sequel to the original, and it's utter nonsense. He might have actually killed the franchise, which really hurts me because I have loved the original since I was about 8 years old, and I was really excited for this film, and he turned it into a joke. This movie could have been amazing. He turned it into a joke. It's one snarky comment after another. This movie has no soul, has no real direction, and it's a comedy, and that's not what a lot of people wanted. I know it's not what I want. It's not what I was expecting. It's not what I was hoping for. And I know I'm not the only one who thinks that this franchise it might be done, it might be over. We might not see another Predator film for years, and it just hurts. Honestly, it really does. It hurts. I was actually upset when I left the theater. That's how bad it was to me. And so, that's it. Those are our top 10 most disappointing films of 2018. We will be doing our top 10 best favorite
combination.
Yes, something that'll be coming out real soon. And of course, leave us comments about any one of these videos. If you agree with us, if you don't agree,
let us know.
Tell us. Give us your reasoning. And of course, thank you so much for watching. You guys are the best. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you want to see more of our awesome movie reviews, hit the subscribe button. As always, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and we will be seeing you awesome people next time.